Hey guys, Kenny here. I'm here to review the 2011 horror comedy remake, Fright Night. I didn't see this in 3D because I couldn't afford it. I didn't have enough money, but I loved this version of Fright Night so much. But obviously, we most of us know what it's about. It's about this family who has a next door neighbor who is believed to be a vampire, and then Jerry Dandridge is his name, and he starts. I like in this film. He stalk. It's like he stalks the family and really doesn't really cause. He kind of starts causing problems for them, and like between Charlie Brewster and his girlfriend Amy and his mom, and that's really what it's about. And he has to try and stop or get rid of Jerry. And in this, it's a little different. Where in the original, it was really Charlie was trying to get his girlfriend back from Jerry. In this, it's a little bit different. This has more of a theme about, let me think, trying to, like, trying to say that it's okay to be different, and you and people should be able to accept that you being different, and if they can't accept you being that you're different, like many people have called me different, then you probably shouldn't associate with people like that who can't spend time with someone who's a little bit different or a little bit off. Like in this, yeah, Evil Ed, as he's called. In this, it's the relationship between him and Charlie is a little bit different. They're not really friends in this like they were in the original, and even they don't really get along much. They really don't get along in this film like they do in the first one. I mean, in the original. And it's also a little different where Charlie doesn't. I don't want to spoil, but it's a little bit different on how Charlie figures out that Jerry is a vampire. Where in the original film, I think it was Charlie first. He's the first one to figure out that Jerry is a vampire. In this version, it's a little bit different, and I think in the original film uh, they weren't trying to leave the neighborhood. I think they were still wanting to try and stay living there. In this, they're wanting to move out. I don't want to spoil that. But I know that probably some reviewers who have talked about it have already said that they're wanting to move out. They're not moving in. They're wanting to move out of the neighborhood. And so it's actually that's a really good kind of turn on the original story. And what else? I love the performances by all the actors. Colin Farrell is Jerry. He's just called Jerry in this, but we know his last name is Dandridge. And what's up? Anton Yelchin is Charlie Brewster, and Christopher Mintz-Plasse, who's most famous for being McLovin in Superbad. He's Evil Ed. I forget his last name. And there's his mom, played by Toni Collette, and Imogen Poots plays Amy this time. Whereas in the original, it was an actress from. It was Married with. She was in the Married with Children TV series. And Colin Farrell really put all his effort and his skill into this part, and I really think it's one of his best roles in recent years. Certainly since Phone Booth. I think this is his best part since that film. And that Phone Booth is also another fantastic film. And I think it's extremely underrated. I remember seeing it in the theater still, and boy, that was an experience. He was 27 at that time, Colin Farrell. So that's when he. That's really when we really started seeing him being a really competent actor. Anton Yelchin, I really enjoyed him in this. What a great performance from him. And what? Oh, I'm forgetting one key person. David Tennant as what's his name? Peter Vincent. It's also a little different on about his character. You know, kind of. He's more of he has his TV series, but he's also not really much of a people person, and he he drinks a lot. So is that also probably impairs his judgment about the supernatural, about anything. And I loved how this version of the film, at first it stayed in the town, and that was when it felt claustrophobic and really creepy and not really horrifying, but definitely scary, a little bit scary. I'm not really someone who gets scared at horror movies anymore. I was when I was much younger, but in recent years, ever since 1999 to 2000, I've gotten to know that most things in horror movies aren't really real. And this kind of did scare me a little. And I loved it that it was just in the town for most of the film. But then when it broadened out into Las Vegas, then this is in Nevada. Don't the original, I don't remember if it was in Las Vegas, set in. I don't know. I don't remember if the original was set in Nevada, but once this remake went into Las Vegas, it broadened out. Um, it didn't feel as closed in as it did in the town. It felt a little more free. I'm like, okay, I guess that's okay. Um, but this, I think that maybe the one real flaw about this movie, and everyone in this was fantastic in their roles, and hopefully I can see this in 3D one day, but I couldn't afford it when I saw it Friday on the 2nd, September 2nd, but that's okay. And so if anyone hasn't seen this Fright Night, this version, I highly recommend this very, very well done. I've also seen the sequel to 1980, the 1985 version of Fright Night, Fright Night 2 from 1988. I'll try and do a review of that someday, but um, I don't know when that will be, but I highly recommend Fright Night to 2011. So so well done and a fantastic remake in my opinion. I thought if there are people who think this wasn't really necessary, but me, I highly enjoyed it. I thought it was even more a modern telling of this story than the original one did. This felt more realistic, and it was felt it was a little if it did feel a little bit more scary than the original one did too. I like I love that original Fright Night as well from 1985 as well. So I highly recommend that one and Fright Night 2. They're both of the movies are on YouTube on this site. So if anyone hasn't seen it, I highly recommend those two as well. But this is on 2011 Friday Night. I really recommend this one highly. So I think that's all I have to say. So I think give it maybe a 4 out of 5. So stay cool and roll out to the movies.